尽夕阳柳岸，那些缠绵的往事，化作一缕青烟，已消失在远方。
A piece of country music of the beautiful south of the river bring us to the water towns in the southern China. The beautiful old houses site along the clear river. Especially the tea rooms typically occupy the best corner of the town. The tea rooms are always full of people. Some sit near the window facing the river enjoying the natural views through the window. Some sit there simply enjoying their favorite tea. Also others gather together to around an old man who is busy telling classical stories. Everybody is enjoying their time in a peaceful afternoon. Tea Room Online is trying to bring you an experience of the similar enjoyment by providing you with jokes, humors, folk stories and others. Hope you can have a relaxed, happy and enjoyable time. Tea Room Online with 3 sections. Section 1, Happy Hour, bring you with jokes and humorous talks. Section 2, Stories and Legends. You will enjoy interesting stories about the world and people. Section 3, Solutions in the Calabashes. Provide solutions for the common problems from your PC and iPhone. This issue's Happy Hour. With 3 humorous stories. 1, Mom told me to go straight home. 2, my sister's fingers. 3, wireless pacemaker. In Stories and Legends, you will continue to listen to the true story. A general with his 2 hens. In the final section of Solutions in the Calabashes, Nana will bring you how to change the background of your photos. Please. Happy Hour. In this happy hour, Nana will bring you 3 jokes. The first, Mom told me to go straight home. Sunday school teacher, hands up all those who want to go to heaven? Hands up, what about you, Terry? You haven't got your hand up, don't you want to go to heaven? Terry, I can't. My mom told me to go straight home. The second, my sister's fingers. One day, when Kevin came to the classroom, the teacher asked, Kevin, why are you late this time? Please sir, I bruised 2 fingers knocking in a nail at home. Kevin answered, I don't see any bandages. The teacher said, oh, they weren't my fingers. I told my little sister to hold the nail. Kevin replied. The last, wireless pacemaker. One day, Lena proudly told her friend Carrie, I saved a life yesterday morning. You are great, who is it? Carrie asked. An old man. Lena replied. What had happened? Carrie asked. In the street, his pacemaker suddenly broke, he could hardly wait for the ambulance. Lena answered. I have never heard you know the first aid, Carrie said to Lena. I don't know it at all, I just lifted my vest, and let him look at my boobs. Lena replied.
Chapter 7, Being Jealous, Donkey Cart Reporting Commander, Warning People, President Dismissing General.
Comfortable. If you were a mother and you heard your kid asking mom to the other woman, you would understand this feeling. So in the family the donkey cart lady used her own way expressing her feelings. She declared that she would never have baby again. She often said something crazy Wang didn't like to listen from time to time. When this happened, Wang also became nervous and expressed by tossing and breaking things at home. That meant the family life was never in peace again. However, a bigger crisis was just coming on its way. For some time following the establishment of the new republic, there was a popular trend for the ballroom dancing among the high officials in Beijing. General Wang was one of the fanatics. At first, his wife Shulan Han was his favorite partner. But after the family's Cold War started, Han refused to dance with him. Furthermore, she often made negative comments on this activity. A man and a woman hold together tightly. With time, something abnormal must happen. Since Crazy Wang were wounded for 7 times during the wars, he left with a broken leg and an arm. One of his leg is 7 mm shorter than the other. So he has to have his shoes customized made with one higher than the other. Han even teased him with this and said to her children, don't say your daddy is a lame. When he entered the dancing hall, he is normal. Shulanhan faced such a dilemma. In one hand, she couldn't accept the scene where everybody's husband could hug everybody's wife. On the other hand, if she won't go to the dancing, some ladies would do, and with time something abnormal must happen, according to her philosophy. But suddenly she got an idea. Her younger sister, Shirang Han, had just graduated from a medical school and had the time to go to dance with her husband. At the same time she would have an informant of her own about the dancing hall. Her sister said she would happy to take this task. For this arrangement, Crazy Wang was happy, too. Everything was going well until some rumors were spreading that something abnormal had developed between his husband and her sister. At first, she didn't believe. Later, when she observed by herself that they two were so happy together and seemed very intimate each other, she began to trying to stop them from going to the parties. When she was refused, she began to believe the rumors were true. So she began a war to fight with both of them. She also went here and there for complaining. She even went further to the Beijing military district official meetings requesting a punishment to her husband's wrongdoing. After Crazy Wang knew this, his crazy gene was expressing once more. He filed an official application for divorce to Shulan Han, his wife. Finally, this personal family issue draw the attention to many highest officials of China including Mao. At that time, a popular phenomenon had caused a public criticize. Many high officials abandoned their original wives, usually from the countryside with the distorted small feet, and remarried a beautiful young lady in the city. Wang's issue could be more or less classified into this category. So the higher officials intended to inhibit the spread of the phenomenon by punishing Wang. Even so, he was still given a final opportunity for protecting himself by withdraw the divorce application. One day in the year of 1964, the Chinese President Liu Shaoqi had a talk with him. "I suggest that you take your application back to avoid a severe punishment," President Liu said. In this situation, many people will compromise and take the application back, at least for now. But this was Crazy Wang. "Please approve my application and I am willing for accepting any punishments," he replied to the president firmly. Soon enough, his divorce application was approved, so was the punishment. 1. His military rank was dropped from lieutenant general to colonel. 2. He was dismissed from the army. 3. He was expelled from the Chinese Communist Party. 4. He was exiled from Beijing to a farm in Henan province close the Yellow River. At the same time, his sister-in-law and the dance partner Shirang Han was also exiled from Beijing to a hospital in the Inner Mongolia, where she stayed unmarried for her whole life. The only time she went back to Beijing is 1 week after Crazy Wang's official funeral in 1978. She went to the Beibaoshan cemetery alone for paying a final visit to her admired hero, her brother-in-law, and her dream lover Crazy Wang. Quickly came the departure day to the farm along the Yellow River. Wang's housemaid Miss Huang was helping him for the packing. Huang was 20 years old, even not well educated. She is a kind and smart girl. She understood all what happened in the family. She found that once talkative and smiling Wang's gone. Instead, the one now in front of her was a silent, depressive man whose hair seemed become gray overnight. She looked at her host and mustered the courage, asking, "Commander Wang, will you leave alone?" "Yes. One person eat and whole family full," Wang replied. "Your health is not good at all. Who will take care of you when you are sick?" She asked again. "I am worrying about you. I mean, if you don't mind, I'd like to go with you for taking care of you." She continued with shy and her face became blushing. "Don't be foolish, girl. I am being exiled to farm to plant potatoes. There is no future there. It's unfair for you," Wang said to her. "You will be my future. Where you go, where is my home?" Wang replied. Wang felt something hot was moving in his eyes. He moved his eyes to the ceiling. Wang continued, I thought a lot in the last few days. I even asked my mom if she support my decision. My mom told me that she will let me go if I really love you. Yes, yes, is my reply to my mom. In July of 1964, Crazy Wang and his housemate Miss Huang arrived in the farm in Henan. In October, they got married. In the following years, Huang gave the birth to a boy and a girl. They were together, happily spending 5 years of the hard life. In March 3, 1969, during the dinner, Wang heard from his radio that the troops of Soviet Union invaded Chinese territory of Zhenbao Island and killed and wounded 6 Chinese soldiers in Heilongjiang province. He put down his chopsticks and said to his wife that the fighting came. He hoped his friend General Zillian Chen, who was the military district commander there, would fight back and punish the invaders. He got very angry and excited when he heard that Soviet troops attacked the same island for 3 more times using cannons and other heavy weapons 12 days later. After that, he always says to himself that, the war is coming, I am only 50, I can still fight, I have to put on my uniform again. His new wife tried to calm him down, being realistic, honey, there are people defending the border, we'd better take good care of our potatoes and watermelons. But he didn't quit. It took him 2 nights to write a long letter to his longtime supervisor, the commander of Nanjing Military District, General Shi Yushu, for consulting to find a possible way for him to return to his army. 2 weeks later, he got the response from General Shu. Shu suggested Wang to write a report to the highest authority, which including a deep self-reflection for the previous wrongdoing, and then express the willing to back to army for serving the country. Shu promised that he would bring this letter to Beijing for a meeting later. This time, Wang followed all Shu's suggestions without any crazy action.
Chapter 8, Helping Old Friend. General Shu bring the letter to Chairman Mao, controlling crazy character, Farmer Wang backed to his headquarter.
In the May of 1969, General Shu went to Beijing for his meeting, brought with him the letter of Crazy Wang. At a break time of the meeting with Chairman Mao, he found an opportunity when Mao with good mood to start a talk with the great man. Chairman, I have something I'd like to get your attention. Tell me. Chairman Mao answered with his cigarette smoking in hand. There are a few guys who were real good fighters in the wartime, but now their life is facing difficulty. I think they shouldn't be forgotten, Shu said. Who are they? Mao asked. One of them is that Crazy Wang, do you remember him? At the same time, he handed the letter to Mao, and added, he's reflected his wrongdoing. Mao took a glance on the letter and said, I do remember him, but if we release the tiger into the mountain, who dare to take him? We happen to have such a vacancy in Nanjing. Shu replied immediately. A few weeks later, Chairman Mao signed an order. According to the order of the Chairman of Central Military Committee, restore the following qualifications to Comrade Jinshan Wang. 1. The member of the Communist Party of China. 2. The military rank as Vice Corps. 3. Named as Vice Chief of Staff of the Military District of Nanjing. 1 month later, at the Nanjing train station, a family of 4 stepped down from a hard-seat cart. A typical scene of a farmer family from a countryside come to visit their relatives in the city. The man with the gray hair wore a neat faded uniform without epaulette, a worn suitcase in one hand and a bamboo basket carrying 2 yellow hens on the other. Beside him was a younger woman carried 2 kids, the smaller girl was on her arms and bigger boy was hand in hand with her. This farmer with 2 hens was just the former vice commander of the Beijing military district Crazy Wang. On the platform, stood 3 corps-level military officers waiting for their old commander. These officers are the commander of the 27th Corps General Yu Taizong, the commander of the 60th Corps General Li Disheng, and the commander of the Armored Corps of Nanjing Military District Yongyin Xiao. They were all the division commanders under the command of Crazy Wang during the wartime. They made a military salute to their commander all together when they saw Wang. Report to my commander, I am here for welcoming you to Nanjing. This military salute obviously surprised him. He couldn't find the right word for reply. He nodded his head and said repeatedly, "Thank you, thank you." Commander Li quickly took over the suitcase and Commander Xiao took over the basket with the 2 yellow hens from their former general commander. Farmer Wang told General Xiao that, "These 2 hens are my gift to Commander Shu for helping me to join you guys again." He patted the hens and continued, "They are grown up by eating wild insects and made eggs every day." During the years for growing potatoes and watermelon in the farm, this crazy commander learned some words previous missing from his dictionary, such as the word compromise and feeling control. With these new vocabularies in mind, he seemed less crazy in the later years of work in Nanjing. He got along well with all his colleagues and spent a happy and peaceful 12 years. He passed away in Nanjing at the position of Vice Chief of Staff of the Military District in 1978. When his long-term leader Deng Xiaoping, who then served as the chairman of the Central Military Committee, heard the news, he signed an order to name Jinshan Wang retroactively as the advisor of the Nanjing Military District, the same rank as the commander of the Nanjing Military District. This retroactive promotion has gained a more respectable funeral for Wang. The donkey cart lady Shulan Han, according to her children, never forget Wang. She never remarry again. She has for multiple times shown a kind will to Wang, but all were rejected by the crazy man. An ancient Chinese wise man said 2,000 years ago, "Before you do anything, you need to think over the consequence, because sometimes, it will be too heavy for you to take." It may still apply to nowadays.
Solutions in the Calabashes.
In this issue, Solutions in the Calabashes, 3, will show you how to change the background of your photos and make an instant cross-form triumphal arch to Tiananmen. 1. On your iPhone, download the free app CapCut from your App Store. 2. Open CapCut app on your iPhone. 3. Click New Project. 4. Click after Click Photos, select your photo Tiananmen from your album. 5. Click Overlay. 6. Click Add Overlay. 7. Click Remove Background. 8. Click Save. Through this simple operation, this nice couple instantly make a cross from the Triumphal Arch in Paris to the Tiananmen in Beijing. This is the end on this issue. If you like this program, please subscribe and click the PayPal link for your support. Thank you very much and see you next week.